Hey guys, it's Wilson. This is our last week of instruction. Today is the 8th, and between the 8th and the 12th is our last week of normal class. And then next week, 15th through the 19th, is going to be the last week of school, and that is a time for people to make up any last minute work and try to improve your grade. You know, that's really been the theme of school during the closure, has been grades, trying to keep up on your grades, keep up on your work. And that's what has been the most important on paper over this time. But I want to give you guys a little bit of a different perspective. I want you to think about how far behind you guys get after summer break. Just like with physical activity, if you don't run every day, then you become worse at running pretty quick. If you don't practice a physical skill regularly, you lose that skill. And you guys can remember times where you've come back from summer break and you don't math like you used to, or your writing ability goes bad. My penmanship. I don't write very often, and if I need to write more regularly, I have to practice before my writing is worth reading. So, you guys have experienced a few months of summer break and how your skills drop. Well, that is a bigger risk than usual here in the next few months. If you've not been able to keep up on work since the closure because of personal issues in your family or just a real challenge handling this type of environment, you guys need to figure out a way. The most you can do as much as you can do to maintain your math skills, your writing skills, your CAD skills, or anything else that you've learned in school, as much as you can do to maintain and practice those skills over this closure, I encourage you to do so. I'm proud of all of you that have maintained your grades over this time. That's important, but your grades next year are going to be affected by how you spend, how you've spent this closure up until now, and then how you spend your summer break. So please do find a way to practice a little bit, just to not forget the things that you've learned and not fall out of practice. I don't know, guys. I'm trying to come up with something inspirational to say to you guys, because this is it. This is the end of it. I guess what's important to let you guys know is I've missed you guys over this time, and I'm going to miss having you guys in class, and I hope you guys come back and visit. This has been a very strange year for everybody, and it's been a diminished experience in IED. We spent all the time up into the closure basically preparing you guys to take on these big projects, like the automata project that we had started, and then we were going to do a big chair design project after that. And that's really the time that you guys get to see how capable you became and how many skills you developed that were ready to apply to these big projects. So, I'm sorry. It's really unfortunate that's the way things ended. I hope you got a little experience of what you guys are capable of with the bird feeder project. But you didn't get to use a lot of your CAD skills. You didn't get to use a lot of your group skills, teamwork skills, time management skills that we've been kind of working on. So, one more time to say, I hope that you find a way to apply the skills that you've learned over this summer break. So on to the nuts and bolts. This week is our last assignment. What I'm going to ask you guys to do is test the performance of your bird feeder. What I did was I hung mine out for a couple of weeks. I got mine done early, and I observed it. And then a couple of days ago, I refilled it, and I observed my process refilling it. And what I'm going to ask you guys to do is fill out a little form that is going to help record how well your product did everything you set out for it to do. So the form has a list of the criteria that we used to choose your design in the decision matrix. And now we're going to use that same list of performance criteria to see if your design actually does what it's supposed to do. That's design. You will find mess ups. You should find mess ups. You should try to find every little way that your product is not perfect. Because you have time to redesign it and improve it. That's with all design. That's why I tell you your first design sucks. You want to find how it sucks so you can fix it. I took a couple of quick videos to show you guys the problems in my design to maybe help you guys take a look at yours. So here's a picture of my design, and first thing you guys will notice is it's really tall, and that created some of my issues. So birds did eat from it just fine, and I do want to shorten it a little bit so that the birds see more seed and they don't see this big black wall in front of their face. I think that slowed how quickly birds learned to eat from it. So that's the first stage. Later on, you'll see here a video where I opened it up after it was empty, and I found out that the seed in the tray was getting wet, which sucked moisture into the center of where the seed is. And you can see here it's really stuck together, and there's mold growing. There's actually roots growing. It was sprouting some of the seeds. And this can create a poisonous situation for birds. So when I shorten the whole thing, I also want to make the roof wider, and that's going to hopefully keep the seed more dry. The next thing I noticed, you guys will see in this video here, is you can't actually refill my design. I was really proud of integrating the threads from a mason jar into my design so that it's easy to take apart and put back together. But then I found out that there's always going to be a little bit of seed left in the bottom, and then you fill the top, and then you have to flip one of those over to get it to go together, and as you can see, that doesn't work. So, I actually am not totally sure how I'm going to fix that design flaw, other than dumping all the seed maybe into one side. But even then, I'm going to lose some seed and make a mess. So I'm going to work on that a little bit too. All right, guys. Last thing I need to tell you is I screwed up the past 2 weeks. Thank you to the couple of students that emailed me and let me know that there was a mistake. But the Canvas assignment for the last 2 weeks, for week, I believe that was 7 and 8, where you guys turn in your pictures of your production, I forgot to publish that. So it's published now. If you want the points for building your bird feeder, please turn those in. You guys will get 40 points. A lot of you don't need the points. You already have like 170, 180. I think I even have a kid who just broke 200%. Cool. Well done. I set my grading to be as generous and compassionate as possible for those that are having a really, really hard time getting high school work done when they're not at high school. I understand. So if you guys have a huge grade point percentage, that's why. I've got a handful of students that are really struggling to keep their grade up because of issues at home and all of that. So I just wanted to create a system that kind of made it work for everybody, even though everybody has very different situations in their life. So if you need the points, please show me those pictures, show me your builds. Otherwise, this last week is also worth 40 points, and the form is going to ask you to show me a picture of your finished design, which I'm really excited to see. Guys, if you need any help with designs or something over the summer, hit me up. Please come visit next year. I miss you guys. Hope you guys got the best out of this year, and keep practicing your skills over the summer break so that whatever school looks like next fall, you guys will be as prepared as possible for it. See you guys then. Have a good summer.